What is going on, guys? 11th day of Eagles training camp. Vic Fangio press conference. A lot was talked about. A lot was said. Got some guys back from injuries, and it looks like Jakorian Bennett is fully going to be the last remaining light at this corner spot. A lot to discuss here. Let's get into it.
What's the boogeyman?
As a matter of fact, it was.
Yo, what is going on, guys? Hope everyone's enjoying their work week. And from the other day of Eagles training camp, we heard from Vic Fangio. We're going to get right into it right now. Now, Vic Fangio did talk about Jihad Campbell. Now, he didn't start in the game. And it looks like that the trainers actually kept Jihad Campbell limited from going in. I don't know why, if there was some precaution there with him. But, I mean, from what Jihad Campbell did in the game or any type of play that was near him, he was always involved in the tackle or he was making tackles. He had the drop pick. So I thought he was pretty good, and I think Fangio was pretty pleased with him as well for his first start in actual game minutes. Now, Fangio did talk about Adoree Jackson and Ringo, this mighty competition that he has been kind of waiting on. And from this preseason game, he was not happy. He talked about that dump-off pass to Jamar Chase where Sidney Brown actually made a good play to slow him up, and Ringo just couldn't finish the play, and this is what he had to say on it. He said he's got to tackle him. I'm not upset Chase caught the ball on him. I'm upset he didn't tackle him. He's got to realize where he is, use the sideline, know who he's going against. He didn't do a good job on that play, but I expect him to learn from that. Now, I understand that Quinyon Mitchell is going to be shadowing the number one receiver, but what if Jamar Chase or a good receiver in the backfield or lined up on the left or right side is going to be in motion on the backside behind the quarterback and gets a dump-off pass or something like that, or a short screen pass? You never know what you're going to get there. Never really closed him down the sideline. Just giving Jamar Chase just a little bit of space. All it took was one little move, and Ringo was done. He was burnt down the sideline for a touchdown, and I can't blame Vic Fangio for being pissed off about this. Now, Vic Fangio talked about Jakorian Bennett as well, and he didn't get to play in this preseason game. He was in pre-snap before the game, didn't play him because probably just didn't have enough under his belt. Terminology, probably didn't know enough of everything that they were doing. So now in this 11th day of practice, he said, I'm going to throw him into the fire. I'm going to see what he could do, and we're going to find out real soon. Now, it looks like Jakorian Bennett did start with the third team today and then mixed in with the cornerback twos, but he didn't have a bad day today. I mean, he had good coverage on a short pass from McCord to E.J. Jenkins where it went out of bounds but closed him up on the sideline. I thought he did a good job there. And then I think at the end of practice, he gave up a two-point conversion to Taylor Morin, so really wasn't much on Jakorian Bennett today, but it looked like he was somewhat being productive, which is good. So I can't really ask more than that. He is the last shining light of hope for this cornerback two spot as of right now, because I'm pretty much done with the other two in Adoree Jackson and Ringo, and I'm hoping this man is going to shine. The perfect week with joint practices with the Browns for 2 days, and you have a preseason game. It's a lot to ask for a guy, but it has a lot of experience, and we're hoping that he wins this job, and we got to see more of him. Now, Vic Fangio did talk about Sidney Brown, saying that he did fine. You know, he's got to be a little bit more polished. He needs to see things a lot better and quicker before they happen on the field. But as for my opinion, I don't really think he played that bad. On the dump-off pass, he slowed down Jamar Chase. It just had to be finished by Ringo. Made a couple tackles for a few-yard gains on some receivers, some running backs with some short runs. So I don't think he was great. I don't think he was bad. I thought he was fine. You know, want to see more days. We have to remember, this is the first year where Sidney Brown is really playing under Vic Fangio in this new system. In 23, a totally different system. We talked about this a million times, and we just need to see more days. And Fangio seems like, you know, he just needs it a little bit more, and I think we'll see a little bit more soon. Now, Vic Fangio did talk about Gabe Hall and said that this is what practice squad is supposed to be. He is the poster child for that. And Gabe Hall, I think, is, you know, really competing for that number 4 DT spot. They'll probably keep 5 guys, probably will make the roster. Byron Young is still hurt at this point, and Ty Robinson needs more work, but I thought he had a pretty solid day in the preseason game. Gabe Hall made a couple tackles in the game, and he's done really well at practice. He's a guy that's coming up when it comes to this depth chart with the DTs, and I think going to be a very valuable piece for Vic Fangio and this depth that comes for the regular season. Now, one of the beat writers asked Vic Fangio, who's really standing out? And Vic Fangio was kind of like, nothing's really standing out to me right now. He said that players are having their moments, good and not so good, looking for guys to really start to surface this week, but he says that players are making good strides, which is great. And he talked about the edge rushing position as well, that he hasn't seen anything surface yet, but he's expecting somebody to surface this week. Now, we're going to be talking about the injury report for the Philadelphia Eagles. And from this last preseason game, which all of us Eagle fans were kind of worried about a couple players, no injuries have been serious at all, which is really good. So, did not practice for the Philadelphia Eagles. A.J. Brown with the hamstring. Lightly walking, lightly jogging, doing some things overcautious about A.J. Brown. There's nothing wrong. He's fine. They're just not going to play him. There's no point to play him right now. Now, Elijah Cooks, that's competing for this number 4, or at least for the one of the wide receiver spots. He ended up getting hurt on special teams in the preseason game. And when you see a cart come out in the field and he's on it, it's a bad sign. When he's covering his face like he's upset, like he's got a season-ending injury, yeah, it's a little worrisome. But he didn't get hurt at all. He had a shoulder injury, but it wasn't serious, which is good. So he stayed out of practice today, so that's really good news. Kenyon Green apparently had a wrist injury, but it looked like it was a shoulder. He gave up no pressures in the game at left guard, which was absolutely amazing in that preseason game. He doesn't have a serious injury either, so that's really good news on Kenyon Green as well. They have Charlie Huglet, the backup long snapper with a neck injury. Montrell Johnson still out with a hamstring injury. Cam Latsu, knee injury. Byron Young missing another practice with a groin. And you're limited as of right now. Zach Bond with a back. Zach Bond is back at practice doing some light jogging, light agility stuff, so he's slowly coming back. Land Dickerson with a knee. He's had a light practice. And Terrace Marshall is finally back at a light capacity, which is good. So Terrace Marshall coming into the mix now with Darius Cooper lighting it up in the preseason game. And now with no Elijah Cooks around, Terrace Marshall could maybe come in and make his mark and take advantage of some of these injuries that are going on at the wide receiver position, but looking real good. Now, what is the difference of this injury report as of right now? Andrew MAKUBA is not on this list, which is great. He was a full participant in practice, and he is well needed to be back this week for the most important week for him as a second-round pick for the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, for the starter practice on 11-on-11s, you had Quinyon Mitchell and Ringo as the starting cornerbacks, Campbell as the starting linebacker. Jalen Carter had a strip sack on Jalen Hurts, a sack on Jalen Hurts, and he had a deflection at the line of scrimmage on Jalen Hurts, which is absolutely amazing. 3 out of 4 plays in general. He was very disruptive. Jalen Carter going to have a big year. Very excited for it, and was just monstrous. Now, as for the edge rushers, it looks like Joshua Uche is taking those first-team reps still over Jalix Hunt, where Jalix Hunt did play on the second team. They want to get more out of Uche. And I understand that Ojulari and Uche didn't really have a good preseason game, okay? But they weren't even in that long. And number 2, there was literally no coverage on these guys. The cornerback play was absolutely horrible, so I can't really expect these guys to really show up. I don't think they showed up in that preseason game. I think Fangio was looking for that this week, and Joshua Uche might be making some noise here. Now, Agbo Akaranu, the 30-year-old edge rusher that we signed before camp, he actually had a sack on Hurts today, which would have been a sack today, which is good. Didn't do anything in the preseason game, but had a sack on Jalen Hurts, and I'm wondering where he fits in this edge rushing position as an older vet as of right now, as the oldest vet realistically. We'll see more this week on the edge rushers, but I think it's going to be a very competitive, crazy competition so far. Now, Andrew MAKUBA being finally back with the second team, which is really good. Played some dime package, gave up a touchdown at the end of practice to wide receiver Taylor Morin, but didn't really do much else. His first day back in full, this week is really going to start to turn when he starts facing the Browns and doing some different things. He's going to get a lot of reps this week. This is the week for him. The Jalen Hurts connection with Darius Cooper, and Darius Cooper still making catches, a low ball, middle of the field, had to go down to get it, caught it. Jalen Hurts dapped him up after the play. And I got to say, everybody's calling him the miniature A.J. Brown, literally. And Darius Cooper is pretty much saying, I want to be the most explosive player on the field. and he is determined. He's got a chip on his shoulder, and we have seen a lot of good things from him. It's very rare that you see a wide receiver from a non-competitive conference in college to be the best receiver and to come to the NFL and really make this much noise out of camp. And I don't think Darius Cooper is taking this really lightly. From that preseason game and McKee giving him really good looks and now still making plays at practice, he's looking like the number 4 guy, and potentially he could be the number 3 guy in 2026. Not even kidding. Great day by Darius Cooper. Terrace Marshall had a catch on the right sideline, which is really good. So he's starting to, get some targets, which is good. This is going to be Terrace Marshall's last stand. And unfortunately, Terrace Marshall missing some time really hurt him in this camp, like it has every single year besides 24. But now this is the last week, not only for him, but for a lot of players to make that last stand to really showcase yourself. And Terrace Marshall, it's do or die right now. Now, Tanner McKee and the offense were backed up in the end zone and threw a pick 6 to literally Eli Ricks. Got it, ran in the end zone, and scored. I think it was targeted for Terrace Marshall at that point. The one thing I'll say about Eli Ricks is he fights. He is a fighter on the field, and he's more of a press guy. When he's in press and he's got to be physical at the line with a receiver, he's got the edge. And most of the time, it works out pretty well. Even that preseason game, the couple times he was in press man, did really good. Almost had a pick 6 in the preseason game. When he's playing zone, yeah, he doesn't really look good there. And not really sure if he's really meant for this defense at this point. But he was the best corner of the day. Ricks was facing some better talent when he first started, and then he was facing some lesser talent later on. So we have to take that into account as well. But, a playmate is a playmate at the end of the day. I don't think Ricks is going to ever start the outside corner spot. He should really compete for that inside spot because we really need it behind Cooper DeJean as of right now, which I'm not really hearing much from Mac McWilliams and some of the other guys, but there's not a lot of guys in that spot right now. So we'll just have to wait and see what happens. I want to know from you guys, which edge rusher is going to, climb the ranks and kind of show to the surface a little bit for Vic Fangio in this defense. It's going to be really interesting. And a lot of these players on this roster for this week being the most important week, 2 joint practices with the Browns, and you have a preseason game. This is do or die for a lot of players, and it's very important, and it's really exciting. Let me know what you guys think of the most exciting thing of training camp and anything else that's going on. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more Eagles news every single day. Make sure you like the video because it helps out tremendously. You guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys later. Shakes, what up? Follow us. Peace out, guys. Peace.